Speaker of the day is Matt Hoover from USD 475. So, Matt, tell us what you do.
So I'm the director of communications for the school district. All communications. USD 475, we have 17 schools, 7,000 kids. So there's a lot of hats, I'll say, with that and stuff. So social media, photography, video, press releases, news releases, features, all that, and obviously any messaging that needs to go out to families, students and staff. So there's a lot that goes in with it, and everything. But I tell you all that, I'm gonna back up. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about me,
It's fine.
and stuff. So when I was born, I weighed a pound and a half. I died 3 times. Uh, and was out for an hour and a half, and I had a 96% chance of being mentally hit again, and I came away normal. I tell you all that and I'm going to build this clock that went this, but uh, I had to learn how to breathe correctly. I had to go to speech pathologists until I was in 5th grade. So it's kind of funny that you were talking about how I speak softly. Like, if you'd have told a doctor back when I was born that I'd be in director of communications one day, they'd have told you I was nuts. Because there was no way that I was going to be able to get up and speak in front of people and speak in front of large groups and stuff. But here I am, and it's through God's grace and everything that I am, because I should not be here. So if you ever see me around at home, understand why I'm smiling. That's why. I know that I'm truly blessed to be in the position that I am in, and to have had the career that I've had. Plowed Junction in Geary County. I worked for a school district for 8 years in Texas and stuff. And then part of that, I worked 13 years in college athletics. So I worked for TCU Athletics, men's basketball program, doing their communications, and photography, and all of that. I got in the school district, and then my wife and I always wanted to move back to this area. And my mom and dad live half the year up in Manhattan. They're both retired. And so, long story short, Geary County had a job opening. And like, okay, this is a chance for us to actually move back to the area, move back to the Midwest. Got it. And it's been an honor. It's been a blessing. I absolutely love what I get to do every day. I'm very truly blessed to be in this district and to work with the kids, work with the staff. Uh, it's such a, it doesn't even feel like a job to me because I love being able to get out into our classrooms, get out into our schools, and be able to tell the story of positive things going on within the school district. Uh, I tell people all the time, it truly, it's just awesome because every day just feels like I never know what's going to go on. You have your good days and bad days, but for the majority part, we have so many great things going on in our district and so many truly just positive things within our schools and with our students and staff. And I feel truly honored that I get to tell that story. Stuff. So that's a little bit about me, a little bit about what I do and stuff. So anything else you want?
Do you have any questions for Matt?
Your kids?
So my wife and I, we did have a son. Unfortunately, he passed away and stuff. We were currently looking through adoption and stuff. We started that process in Texas, but then with this moving, we had to kind of put a hold of that stuff because they wanted us to get settled in Kansas and stuff. So we've been here for going on my 4th year now and kind of starting that process and stuff. So I always joke that, yeah, we may not have kids on oath, but I have 7,000 kids that get to be our kids, because I'm not joking. If any of you ever get a chance to walk, schools or go into our schools, it's amazing. Uh, I've been blessed to work in 2 different school districts, and I can tell you for a fact that Junction City kids are very respectful and very good kids. And it's awesome when I walk down the hallway of a elementary school or a high school with a high school, and they're like, "Oh, Mr. How are you? Oh, so how you doing? Oh, hey, it's the YouTube guy." Stuff like that. It's awesome. You see that respect all the way up from elementary, all the way up to high school. So, while my wife and I may not have kids, we have 7,000 kids that we consider home. So,
Really blessed to have you in the district.
thank you. And I should say that my wife works at the high school too. So she's the mental health liaison in the district, and we joke all the time in our family. She has the hard job. I have the fun job. She's dealing with major stuff, and then I'm dealing with, making this the good thing and putting out all the positive things that's going on. Don't get me wrong, I have hard days too, with some of the stuff we have to handle, but, she's dealing with real situations and stuff. And, we think, between the two of us, we think all the time that we really feel like God let us here, and God wants us to be here. It's been awesome for the both of us. To be a part of the 475 and the high school and everything. So.
Such an optimistic attitude. You should join us on Wednesday.
Yes. I have application.
Adina said you might,
We meet every Wednesday morning.
I'm really glad you guys do this, because you guys really have an impact on the kids, and I can tell you for a fact that Morgan Davis, who just graduated, is the president, and Blake, those two amazing representations of the school district, and the junior optimist. I know Morgan specifically really talked highly of what you guys do, what you do within our schools.
As communications director, we talk in the community constantly. It used to be you had the newspaper that everybody got a subscription to, and you had a radio station that was just dedicated to the community. And you could tune in to Dewey starting at 5 o'clock in the morning, and it wasn't a 5-minute snippet, and it wasn't on repeat. It was, and then it was Your Town for an hour where he interviewed somebody, or Our Town, Our Town, Your Town. But in the last 10, 15 years, we've really lost all of those. And there's more ways to communicate today, but yet the struggle that I see for the district, or that I witnessed as a parent, there's so many avenues, but it's harder than ever to reach people. What do they tune into and everything else? And I guess I'm curious what you see as the future of that, because we're constantly looking at all the different platforms.
Yeah, I think for us, within the district, us moving to Perry Square last year was a huge help. Within that, we were able to move everything really into one platform, so all families are able to get constant communication through that platform. Social media is always going to be here now, and it's always going to be here to stay. And I'll give you the example of when I first started, our Facebook page probably had, I think, probably 6,000 followers. I just looked yesterday, and it's almost 14,000. So within 4 years, it's grown from 5,000 to 6,000 all the way to almost 14,000. And one thing that I've noticed with the kiddos within the last year, Instagram is a big thing with our kids. And when I first started, there was only 200. I noticed for a fact there's only 250 followers. We're almost at 3,000 followers right now. And it's because our kids see the value of what we're doing. And so, really, truthfully, all the media have changed. The methods that I first used when I first got into this are still the same. Uh, yes, you still send stuff out to newspapers, you still send stuff out to the radio and all that. You just use different methods now to add on to that. So, with the example for me, if I send out a news release, a press release, I'm going to send it to media, but I'm also going to put the full story on our Facebook page. Where I typically won't put the full story on our Instagram page. That's all because the medians for Facebook is more likely your parents, your grandparents. And they're used to that newspaper where they can pull it out and read it. And so I want to give them that access on our Facebook page where they can read the whole thing on there and still kind of have that feel. Well, Instagrams are kids. They don't care. Way past the first two paragraphs, and stuff. And so a lot of times we won't put the full story on Instagram. The kids more want to see the pictures, want to see graphics. Um, and that's the thing that I try to really look at with it is if I can do something graphically or with a short video or with some type of picture that I put out, I can help tell that story. So I can help tell that narrative of whatever's in that release within it. Where with newspaper and radio, they're strictly looking at your release and what you said, which is awesome, right? But so many people in today's day and age want that instant gratification within 10, 20 seconds. So they're not going to read past that first 2 or 3 paragraphs to get to. And so, really truthfully, if you look at like what we're pushing out, this requires on social, you know, there'll be that hook, I'll say, so to speak, to try to get you to look at what we're talking about. And if I can do that graphic design wise, if I can do that photo wise, that's really how we draw people's attention to help kind of make sense.
I'm gonna ask you a scary question, but hopefully you'll answer. How does the public get on?
How does they call it distant office and ask for me?
You don't have your own line.
I do have my own line and stuff.
Top secret.
I see.
Trust me, it's not top secret. Families get a hold of me all the time. Yeah, if you just want to call the main line at the Devon Center, they can always give me my email.
What do you think is the most difficult thing about your job? Most difficult.
Most difficult thing for me, obviously we do have crisis communication that has to go out from time to time. And for myself, I just have to remember during those times, you need to take a deep breath, you need to calm down, and really be focused on the job at hand, not get caught up in the issue. Because my job is to communicate clear and concise information at that moment. And I unfortunately have been part of, not here, but in my previous system, we've had some major issues where I've had to do crisis communication like a lot. And, working through those situations and just remaining calm within that so I can put out best possible information that I can that helps the situation.
I love your work and I enjoy what you're doing and how you're putting it out. You guys really have you're pretty tech savvy and I enjoy it. I would like to see, I don't know, I would like to see it expand. And what I mean by expanding is maybe find a way to include the students more, uh, give them a voice, find a platform where students can have a voice. Personally, I would, I wouldn't want to talk to the adults because we're so mean. Everybody's looking everybody's looking for a gotcha moment. And it's amazing to me that you can say that you love your job because you have one of those jobs like a referee. You're going to put out something that's going to make somebody happy, and then that other half is going to be unhappy. and then you gotta accept the blame for it. And all you're doing is trying to communicate. And we're in a time and space where communication is probably the hardest thing there is to do because we can't agree to disagree.
So, I mean, it's funny that you say that because obviously, families, you do have to have those conversations that they don't see eye to eye with
Right.
what you're doing and stuff. But the biggest thing that I always try to think about, if they may have a problem with what's going on, but the biggest thing is by them even reaching out, it shows that they care. And that's how I tend to look at it. Is yeah, they may be not 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 saying good things or whatever, but at least they're talking to you about it. Well, you can talk to them and be like, okay, here's why, or here's some situation that we'll deal with, and here's what I can share with you and stuff. So I always tend to look at it more positive way that whether it's good or bad, it's still communication. And so they may have a problem, but I'd rather have them talk to me about it than not. And you talk about the student portion of it. The one really cool thing about Jones City High School is they allow us to have interns. And I have been blessed to have two amazing interns that are high school seniors and stuff. And the cool thing about that is you really get to know them as young adults. And, being able to send them into schools and trust what they're doing. And not only teach them, but like see them propel from like when they started to when they end. I'll use the example of my first intern in Junction City. He still keeps in contact with me with stuff and lets me know what's going on within his life, what he's doing, and how he's doing, and that's important, and that's important to me because like I know that what I was doing to help him try to get better within communications, within graphic design, uh, made a difference. And they've taught me, the two mentors have taught me a lot about military life, about what it's like for all kids within our buildings and stuff. Because coming here, I didn't know that stuff and stuff. But through that and through everything that all the 411 people have done, it's been amazing. And it's really helped me know, okay, here's the type of students that we're dealing with. So how can I help, you know, make a difference in their lives, within their places, and stuff. And I'll give you an example. We did a survey for Portland graduate, and we had more students fill that thing out than community members. There was, because I don't have a little over 1,100 people, I think, that signed up, that filled it out, and we had almost 500 of them be students. And they were legit, like, they weren't just filling it out to fill it out. They were filling out because they wanted us to hear what they thought was important in the district and how we could evolve within the starting point to now. Uh, and that just goes to show the power of kids and why I do what I do. Because I want to be able to make people look at Union County and think, I want to go. That's the best school district I've ever seen. And because I believe that. I believe that we really do have great things going on in this district. Our kids are amazing kids. They have high ceilings. When they leave here, they can be successful. And it's absolutely awesome to be able to share those things. And that's what I want people to see with it. Because this district is an amazing district.
I think you guys do a great job. I'm not just saying that, I really do. And I don't know that if you realize it, but you are Junction City's greatest source of communication. We really don't have a newspaper. The radio station is dying, so a lot of times, everybody's waiting to hear from you so that they so that they, have a glimpse of knowing what's going on. So your job is a little bigger than you might envision it to be. It's like I said, there is no newspaper. I mean, there's the little flyer or whatever, but and then the radio's dying, so you might want to think about doing a USD 475 radio station. Just mix it up a little. We
I
can
know somebody wants to do a podcast.
No, thank you. Thank you for saying that. It means a lot. I always consider my job kind of like the front porch of the district. And, I want to be able to relate to the farmers going down and eating donuts at the donut shop and all the way up to the kids within our district. And I want to be able to show that, and so everyone's proud of what's going on within the district. And that's how I've always been. That's how I've been at every stop. And, that's how I'm going to be here. I don't just say this, I absolutely love my job.
We've got a big cultural shift with the whole cell phone thing coming, and as a school board member, or whatever else, it's going to be challenging on our entire staff. I mean, that's going to where we're all addicts ourselves, and it's hard to just tell a kid when we've raised our kids that way. I'm amazed when you go to the store and somebody's kid's crying, you just throw a phone in their face, or the kid's throwing a fit until whether it's the colors, the sounds, whatever. But we're guilty of it. And now, Jared and I were talking about smoking or whatever else. You're taking an addict that we've created, and you're just snatching that away from them. And what do you anticipate? I mean, obviously, there's a lot of education, but as we use all this communication, and then we're kind of taking away the addiction because kids can't go 30 seconds without checking their Instagram. How do you see your role in all of this, and how we help the kids through this? Because we're worse than they are a lot of times.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big change, obviously. The good thing is like the high school did already have a cell phone thing in place. I think the biggest thing with that is no cell phones at lunch. Um, and so obviously we have to relate to our staff, like here's rules and regulations, here's what's going on. Within our students, I have to relate that with them too. So it's a big undertaking and stuff. But I think the bigger component of it, there's a lot of social media stuff with that, within our staff stuff that will have to be relayed out. So it's not just the cell phone stuff, but it's also headphones. Headphones aren't able to be used within the buildings. And for high school kids, it seems like headphones are a big thing and stuff. And so even that portion of smartwatches and stuff like that, uh, you know, I can communicate to them, build the pace about it, but ultimately, it's our buildings. And our principals and admin do a great job with stuff, but they all understand that this is what's coming and stuff. And so how can you relay that message to our students, to be able to get the most positive effect out of it? Within our high school, I think our kids during class time were all pretty well used to not having those cell phones and stuff. So that won't be as big of change, so to speak. But it's just up to the staff to be able to hold to the letter of the law and being able to put it into place.
I remember we were talking with Charles Ballin last night.
Yeah.
I'll never forget the term he invented. Speaking to Rotary, he called it when the school district got blackberries for every. He called it the blackberry prayer.
Yeah.
Whenever you're talking to a large group, everybody's just looking down like they were an awful prayer, but it was their fault because they handed the phones to every administrator.
Yeah, I mean, I've been sending out communication to families since the school year ended last year. And this is coming, and be prepared. And obviously I've heard some interesting comments back, with this change, but, there's nothing we can do because it's legislation across the state, and stuff. And so you know, it's a big shift.
Yeah.
And you are correct, that, it's almost like you're going back to when we were in school, you know, cause you didn't have phones, you didn't have cell phones, you know. The closest thing was when I was in school that you had was a bag phone. And stuff, and that didn't leave your car, so.
Right. But no, when I visited Topeka last year, the people that had made this law, every one of them was staring at their phone when people were standing on the floor, presenting their bills, testifying, supporting, whatever else. Every single one, you know.
Yeah.
And it was, just the irony and all of that, just kind of funny.
I mean, I'm not naive, I mean, our kids will probably find ways to.
Yeah, you gotta check the glasses too, man.
Yeah.
Smart
Yeah.
glasses.
Yeah, and, I mean, there's all kinds of things now that, all that, so, I mean, it's a work in progress.
Yeah.
And stuff, but I mean, for the most part, I think our kids are pretty well, I mean, pretty, they know, like, hey, we can't do this, and stuff, but I'm also not naive, I mean, we're all 16, 17, 18 at one point.
Just take it as a challenge, something that's to keep you sharp, because, you know, that's how it is.
So you're a morning person?
I have a night person.
That's nice. That's why he's not gonna commit to the early morning.
We'll give you a wake up call.
I,
We got the media thing handled.
we,
Good for it.
we joke in my family that I'm very happy and energetic and outgoing, but when you first wake me up, it's, no. It's the only time of day that I'm not outgoing, and stuff, but once a month, I'm fine, but I'm way more of a night owl, being an SID and working in college athletics, I was used to working long hours, weird hours. College coaches can call you at any time at night, and they did, and stuff, and so I got to be a night owl for that. Yeah, mornings, not my cup of tea. So,
But it's hump day, it's Wednesday.
That's, that's all good. I absolutely love talking about our district, seeing all the positive things.
Keep the
You guys asked-
communication going. It's
Yeah.
important.
Thank you. So when you guys asked me to come, it was like, okay, because it's a chance for me to get out, talk about great things going on.
Well, we kind of need a school connection, losing our good friend Dana, so when we do the student of the month and all that stuff, we're actively looking for a member, but our challenge is always, finding somebody that works at the high school, but has to be at the high school when we meet. So that's always the, don't feel pressured, but, we are looking for an invite.
Wait, don't work at night?
Yeah, well, yeah, you work at the head shed, you come in whenever you want. Sardina's no. Please do consider, because we're needing an inside of the district for what we do, it always helps them.
Any more questions for Matt?
Great job, man. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
thank
you
you,
so
Matt. And before we continue, I'd like to take a picture